Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by the phrase, "You're so nice." You're the peacemaker, the human shield, the one who says, "It's fine," while actively on fire inside. I used to think that was just my personality. Turns out it was my trauma response with a customer service smile. Therapy called it the Fawn response. I called it my whole personality since age 7. It's the 4th survival mode: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Translation: becoming a golden retriever for anyone who looks even slightly disappointed. And it's costing you way more than you think. Let's be clear, this isn't kindness. Kindness is, "I brought you soup because you're sick." Fawning is, "I brought you soup, cleaned your apartment, walked your dog, and told you my problems aren't real just because you had a bad day." It's apologizing when someone else bumps into you. It's saying, "No worries at all," when someone cancels on you for the 3rd time and your inner monologue is just screaming. It's becoming a shapeshifter. You're chill with the chill friends. You're deep with the deep friends. Your whatever version won't make anyone leave. And the worst part, from the outside, it looks amazing. Wow, she's so easygoing, so understanding. Inside, you're a resentment factory with a strict smile policy. You're so busy managing everyone else's emotions that you forgot you have your own. You disappear. I had a therapist ask me, "When was the last time you said no and didn't spend 3 days explaining yourself?" I laughed. Then I realized I wasn't laughing. I was buffering. I couldn't remember. Every yes was automatic. Every opinion got swallowed. That's not nice. That's fear in a cardigan. So where does this come from? It's not random. Trauma therapist Pete Walker named this the 4th F. He worked with complex PTSD and saw that some kids couldn't fight, couldn't run, and freezing wasn't safe either. So they did the only thing left. They appeased. They became useful, agreeable, invisible in all the right ways. Fact number 1. Your nervous system learned this because it worked. If you could predict a parent's mood, calm them down, or make yourself small enough, you avoided the blow-up. You stayed connected. You survived. That's genius. A 6-year-old did that. But here's the scam. That software never got an update. Now you're 30. Your boss is not your unstable parent. Your friend being quiet isn't a life-threatening danger. But your body doesn't know that. Fact number 2. Fawning is a literal autonomic nervous system response. It's not a moral choice. Trauma-informed therapy blends this with polyvagal theory. It's your vagus nerve going, abandonment equals death, and hitting the people please button to keep you safe. So, when you spend 20 minutes over-explaining a text message, that's not you being extra. That's your body trying to prevent social exile, because 200,000 years ago, exile meant a tiger ate you. The problem is, your brain is still scanning for tigers at Sunday brunch. I was the undisputed CEO of Fawning. I had a PhD in reading the room. I could tell you someone's childhood trauma by the way they stirred their coffee. Useful skill? Absolutely. Exhausting? Also yes. I thought I was just highly empathetic. Turns out I was just hyper-responsible for emotions that weren't mine. The moment it clicked was when a friend looked at me and said, "You don't have to fix me." And my whole identity crashed, because if I'm not fixing, managing or soothing, who am I? Spoiler, you're still you. Just way less tired. Okay, how do you stop being a human emotional support animal for everyone? 3 things. No 12-step programs required. 1. The Body Snitch. Before you say yes, check your body, not your brain. Your brain is a liar. Is your chest tight? Are you holding your breath? Do you feel a little sick? That's fawn. That's not kindness. That's fear. A real, authentic yes feels open, even if it's scary. A fawn yes feels like swallowing rocks. Learn the difference. Your body is the snitch. Trust the snitch. 2. The 10-second buffer. Someone asks you for something. Your mouth is already opening to say, of course. Stop. Count to 10 in your head. 1, 2, 3. It's agonizing. That's the point. In those 10 seconds, your actual preference has a chance to crawl out from under the people pleaser. You'll want to fill the silence. Don't. Let it be awkward. Awkward is where your real voice lives. Let me check my schedule and get back to you is a complete sentence. Tattoo it on your brain. 3. Micro no reps. You don't start by telling your boss to shove it. You start in the gym for your no muscle. No pickles, thanks. I can't make it tonight. I disagree, actually. No essay, no 3-page apology. Just the no. It will feel like you just murdered a puppy. Your nervous system will scream danger. Do it anyway. You're teaching it that minor disagreement doesn't equal death. You're not being mean. You're being a full person. And people who actually love you can handle a full person. And here's the part that makes me mad for you. You were taught that your needs were a burden, that your no was selfish, that being easy was the price of admission for love. That was a lie. Your needs aren't dangerous, they're data. Your boundaries aren't walls, they're the instruction manual for how to love you without draining you. Fawning taught you that love is earned by disappearing. Real love? It only shows up when you reappear. The goal isn't to become cold. I love that you're warm. I love that you care. The goal is to be warm on purpose, to care from choice, not from panic. Because compulsively nice isn't actually trustworthy. You know who's trustworthy? The person who can say, I can't take that on right now, with love. That's the only person you can truly believe when they say yes. You're not losing your kindness. You're just losing the fear that was pretending to be kindness. So if you're the nice one and you're just deeply tired, I see you. You're not broken. You're not manipulative. You're a genius kid who figured out how to survive a tough room. And now you get to update the software. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to disappoint people. You're allowed to be loved without performing for it. Drop a comment. When was the last time you said yes and immediately hated yourself? Or when did you try a tiny no and actually survive it? No judgment here. We're all unlearning this together. Be so gentle with the part of you that learned to fawn. She was brave. She kept you safe. And now she finally gets to rest. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of that kind, tired heart.